Timeout talk. Timeout talk.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another weekly edition of Timeout Talk, streaming on the one and only Minifan Show Network, brought to you by Chase and Thrills Custom T-shirts and accessories, the Ice Shaker, and of course, Make It Mac. We are also streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube on, of course, the Minifan Show Network account that is on YouTube. You can check us out there. We've got so much to talk about, so I won't take too much time here talking about our intros, but here we go. We're gonna, Pat, you brought us right in here, Patrick. Let's just get it over with. We've got a lot to talk about. We're gonna get some UFC, NFL, of course. We'll finish it off with NFL and a little Bruins fire sale stuff for you, but let's talk this. This was huge. Ben, he came out stagnant. He came out flat. Obviously, I know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, in fights like that, you don't want to leave it like you want to." If anything, it would go back to the champion. You know, the strikes. I know all that. The more percentages were land for Pereira, whatever. He deserved. I mean, like I don't even know. I put money on him to win. He didn't win. It was an abysmal performance. I know he was kind of letting the media get to him, and I don't want to take too much time, Ben, but he lost. Gaethje looks like the man again. Huge win against Fiziev, who looked pretty good. But just got to get a rematch. But I thought he clearly lost that, Ben.
Yeah, no, he lost that, Josh. And right there, Gaethje, that's fight of the night, I think, so far. I mean, just competitive battle between them. Fiziev looked good in the first round, everything, but Gaethje just came out. He's just a better fighter. He knows how to win those 3-round battles. He knows how to just stay alive the whole fight. Doesn't waste his whole gas tank that first round. Ankalaev, and I'm the same boat as Josh. I was banned on Poatan. I wanted him to. I thought he was going to win this one, but you said perfectly, Josh. He was just flat. Ankalaev wanted more, and kind of makes you question. If Pereira doesn't get these guys out pretty early with these knockouts, obviously he's gone. Izzy longer rounds, and Jamal Hill was a couple more rounds and everything, but he gets that knockout eventually. But if he really gets taken the distance, he doesn't have those full tools that everyone has. The Tom Aspinall's Ankalaev, he developed his striking. He already had that wrestling background, grappling, and Poatan doesn't. He just clearly just took him to the cage every time, took him down a couple times, and just controlled him that whole fight. Like Josh said, we'll get it out and early. I know everyone wants to talk NFL, they'll be coming after us for our UFC knowledge, but the other fight too, I got to give it to Jimmy. Jimmy called that guy Mauricio Rufy. I believe it's Rufy on there. He said, watch out for him. He's going to be the next thing. That was crazy spinning back, his back heel kick over there. That was a great knockout, but unfortunately, didn't get to see it, Josh. Dana White dropping the ball. I don't know what was going on. Can't even buy it. Not even letting us buy it for the first couple fights, Josh. What was going on?
So I'm pretty sure it was on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, no, it was, but there was, you went to go buy it and it said it wasn't letting anyone buy it unless you bought it pre. Yeah, there was a whole thing on Twitter. It was saying plans have failed to it. You weren't able to buy the fight actually until the Gaethje fight, and people were hoping they would give a discount on it. I'm not paying $80 for 2 fights. No offense, Dana, and everything. But they dropped the ball big time with that. Well, I was trying to give him money. It was a good card. I mean, we missed the first couple fights. We didn't miss them. We illegally streamed it over there. We found our ways over here of watching it. But you kind of dropped the ball with that one, Josh.
Yeah, no, I didn't even notice that. I know I was out for the fight, so I was able to kind of see it with no problem. But yeah, I mean, I've heard rumblings of, Dana White and the UFC kind of following the WWE aspect of it, where you pay for the membership and then you get to just see all the fights. Like that's pretty much how it should be. This isn't 2009 anymore, where we're paying $60 for a pay-per-view, $80. It's just, I know they make a lot of money that way, Ben, but I think that they could make just as much money if you open up to ESPN Plus, or hey, another platform comes in and says, hey, we're going to buy this off you guys right here and then. UFC, stream it right here. You can get it for free if you get our subscription for $20 a month or whatever it is. And hey, the customer, the consumer gets their money plus and then some, and the UFC is happy. So, but I don't want to take too much time talking about that. But yeah, Ben, that's frustrating. I wish you got to see it. It was a crazy roundhouse kick, sent King Green into the next stratosphere. I think James was one who told me that they actually released him from the UFC. So literally into another stratosphere is where he was sent. But Ruffy looks pretty dominant. Justin Gaethje with the win, and Alex Pereira. I mean, I'm calling for a rematch here, but I want to see more out of him, Ben. I mean, just calf kick central. That's the name of our group chat. One of our group chats, Ben knows. Calf kick central. That's all I saw, and just 12 takedowns is fine, but you just at round 5, I needed to see a little bit more other than just complacency. He looked very complacent, very comfortable, and maybe he was thinking, Ben, hey, I don't want to get taken down. I don't want this to get to the floor. You know, I'm winded. I've stuffed 12 of these takedowns now. Like, maybe he thought, all right, I got a chance to kind of, if this goes to decision, we bring it back to our corner. Hey, maybe we can just get the win that way. And didn't end up working out that way. I know Patrick Crowley, one of the first people to comment in here, some other viewers. I know James, my buddy Tyler. Tyler's been on here before. Not happy about the Alex Pereira loss, but I mean, Ankalaev did what he could. He striked with him, Ben, and hey, we got a new champ.
Yeah, you perfectly said it too, Josh. I mean, he just came out flat. DC was saying it was 2-2 going into that final round, which is questionable. I was siding with DC, obviously, as me and Josh both said. We're both we're a little biased towards Pereira, but it was 2-2, and you got to think his corner's going to tell him something like that. He just still came out flat. I don't know what they said, Josh, the calf kicks. Yeah, I don't know what the strategy was with that. Calf kicks just all the time, but it's just Ankalaev just took it to him every single time. He was just more the powerful puncher. I thought that final round, Pereira just might give it his all, but I just did the same kind of boring strategy. So it was a little strange to see from him on that one. But yeah, I think he's earned the rematch, Josh. You got to run it back with these two. There's really no other option right now in that division. Just might as well go rematch and see if this was a little fluke or see if Ankalaev's for real.
Yeah, and huge 314 coming up in a couple weeks, so stay tuned for that.
Hopefully better.
Yeah, I'm hoping
Ben. This card. Yeah, this card was a little stagnant.
Yeah, it was definitely top heavy. Those last two fights were kind of, the Ruffy one was cool too, but just because I know, it was a cool fight. You didn't get to see it, but I mean, if you did see it, it was pretty good.
Sick finish. One of the best finishes I've seen.
Oh, for sure, Ben. For sure. Great roundhouse kick. But King, like I said, King Green into another stratosphere. But I think Patty Pimblett's on 314. We got Michael Chandler taking him on. I'm blanking on a couple other ones. I'm sure. Is there a title fight on that one?
I think so. I gotta look it up on that one.
Yeah, I'm not. Both of us here.
I was about to say we're excited though. We're excited.
I know that I'm blanking on who else is on that card.
I don't know if it's the Warrior, but I don't think it is.
Oh, it could. No, I don't think they've announced a fight for him yet. Let's see, Ben.
Let's see who's going to get it
on
first.
the.
Let's see who's going to get
Oh, we got Volk.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. Same time. Yair. Oh yeah, this is stacked.
He's
Jeff
gonna get killed though. Volk's gonna get
killed. You think so? Diego
Lopez
takes him down.
Yeah, he's the next real deal. I think he takes him down. But yeah, no, this is Yair. You got some good names on here and everything, but hopefully just brings a better pop than this last one, Josh.
I'm hoping so. Within a month. We have to wait till April, but little top heavy on that last one. But speaking of just not top heavy, yeah, shout out Patrick for getting us there. But the Boston Bruins on a fire sale. They ship out Trent Frederick, Charlie Coyle, Brad Marchand. I mean, they just were exposing a bunch of their assets. And hey, Ben, I don't blame them. I think this is. Wow, the Ravens signed DeAndre Hopkins right now, 1 year, $6 million deal. So that's we'll get to that a little bit later. But back to the Bruins, Brad Marchand gone, Ben. This is the one that really stuck out to me. I think the Charlie Coyle deal, we kind of won. I know we got a draft pick, nice little young asset there. I'm blanking on his name, the winger there. But the Brad Marchand gone to the rival Florida Panthers. I can't even look at him in that. Oh, it drives me insane. He's going to the Florida Panthers for a second-round pick that turns into a first-round pick, depending on the time he plays in the regular season, which a lot of people think he's hurt. He's not going to play. This will turn into a first-round pick. But, Ben, I thought they could have got more. I thought it was a panic sell. I think we just, hey, they're getting rid of the captain. They're getting rid of players anyways, which I agree with. Clean out some of the lockers. No problem with that. But I think that we need to clean out some of the front office too. I think that Don Sweeney's kind of played its course. I think a lot of these guys have to move on. And, I'm not in love with that trade. I think you had to move him. I think you could have got a little bit more for him. I know everyone's going to come in the chat and come at me and say, oh, well, he had those injuries, Josh. He had these injuries. That's what's kind of hampering him down. But one, you get him only for a late first-round pick. Florida's going to make a deep run. And two, you send him to the Florida Panthers. You're going to have to deal with him next season. Yeah, he might be hurt this year, but he's going to probably put up 40 goals next year and 80 points in general with the Florida Panthers in the same conference. So bad spot for the Bruins right now. I'm going to be brutally honest. If you're a Bruins fan, cover your ears. I think it's going to be rough for the next 2 years, 3 years. You got the nice little motorcycle in the background trying to compete with me there, but it's going to be rough for the next few years if you're a Bruins fan. I'm going to say we hover around 500. I think that it's just, speaking of top heavy, it's just kind of pasta, Charlie McAvoy. And Morgan Geeky is your second goal scorer. I don't know. Ben, I'll leave it to you.
Well, the motorcycles are fitting Josh. Everyone's leaving town. Get him out of here. Oh, yeah, I saw that one from Patrick, too. Bryce Mitchell, a redemption tour. That's going to be good. We'll stay tuned for that one. Real close, but that was, it's good for the Bruins, Josh. I think ultimately, I know some people are a little sad about it, and, maybe I can get your opinion too on this with Brad Marchand. Everyone wants to retire the number and everything. He's a great guy, great haul. I don't know. I don't know if I hang the number over there. He had some great years for us, gritty guy. But, he didn't really come up clutch in some moments. He's always going to be one of my favorites for that 2011 team. I think we were just hanging on to that too much. And this was the final straw of that team, Josh. This is it. So we get to move on. Like I said, I was blanking on some of the young guys. But to be honest, who cares? I just want to get picks, just get some youth in here, and we got to just rebuild. That Panthers series loss was it. I think that was sort of just the nail in the coffin for this team. Just sort of the way that happened and everything, it's no way we were coming back after that. And Marchand was a great player for us and everything, just wasn't a leader. And hey, I'm happy. I'm happy that he gets to go play for a contender. Not really happy, as you pointed out. I don't know why we sent him to Florida, and I don't know why we sent someone else. I forget who we sent to the Maple Leafs too. It was kind of strange that we sent someone to Toronto.
Carlo, Brandon Carlo.
Oh, Brandon Carlo. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, so that was kind of weird. I don't know why we sent him to Toronto, but whatever. That kind of points to your point as well, Josh. Maybe we got to change up some of these front office decisions. Maybe it's not all on this team. We can't keep blaming the team year in year. We got to look upstairs. We definitely, because something's got to change. So I'm willing to give them one more chance. Let's see what they can do with some of these picks and talent we're going to be acquiring. But yeah, I'm sad to see him go, Josh, but it was time. Time for the Bruins to move on.
Definitely time. And yeah, it's back to I want to have the rest of the show, last half of the show, to talk about the NFL free agency. But to your point, I'm not retiring his number. Brad Marchand, great player. I grew up with him. I have his shirt. I almost bought his jersey. He was kind of one of the Bruins players I contemplated buying his jersey. Big part, won us a championship, huge. Just top echelon of player you wanted, and wasn't the best captain. I agree with you on that. Kind of silent, kind of the rat. You wanted him on your team, but if they're not retiring Bergeron's number anytime soon, come on, or Chara, like these guys, I think had bigger impacts than Brad Marchand. But Ben, yeah, I think we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. Whether it's front office gets some movements, and I know we've kind of cleared out some of the space in the locker room, but something else has got to follow. I'll kind of be hampering on this for the rest of the season, but I think they got to make some changes to the front office because things are changing. And I thought your point perfectly. Once we saw that Florida Panthers loss, it was kind of just the nail in the coffin, the dagger to the heart. So, Bruins, let's see. They're off a nice 4-0 win against the Lightning, but I don't know. I think it's just too good to be true. Too good to be true. But Ben, a lot of stuff going on here. Okay. I didn't know he's a free agent next year. I don't know. Ben's done. Ben is done. We're moving on here. Just like, oh God, that contract. Yeah. Just like the Bruins, we're moving on. Just like NFL free agency, it just keeps moving. We've got plenty of stuff to get to. I mean, Patriots making huge moves. Your quarterback, who a lot of the Steelers wanted coming back, he's gone. Steelers making trades up the wazoo. Patriots, like I said, throwing money around. I thought there's two sneaky teams in free agency who have just been very diligent. I've liked what they've done. James kind of disagrees with me on that, so I'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll get to Ben's winner, my loser, Ben's loser, my winner. We'll get to that a little bit later, but Ben, so many signings here. I mean, first we got to start it off with yours. I mean, how are you feeling about this?
I'm loving it. Loving it, Josh. Just was confused. I won't lie, I was fell asleep a little early that night and woke up to a bunch of texts. DK's on the Steelers. We never do a move like this, kind of a crazy move. And once I heard that contract extension, Hines Ward was the only wide receiver before Antonio Brown came around to get a contract extension. So,
wow.
I'll say stingy. Yeah, I'll say stingy. We're stingy with the wide receivers. We kind of, Big Ben used to develop them, and we get them their money somewhere else. We replace them and move on. But clearly we believe in DK. If we're giving him this extension and everything, he's going to be the number one. I know everyone's making the jokes, Josh. I don't know if he's going to be a great role model for George Pickens. Hopefully they can get on a little better page than that. We know they're both known for their antics a little, but talent-wise, I'm excited. But it begs the question, Josh, now who's going to throw it to him? Big question.
And that's, I mean, who are you looking for? I've heard earlier today, I think it was Adam Schefter saying Russell Wilson's the kind of that second option. I'm not in love with that. I mean, then again, it could be a little nice reunion there, but I mean, your guy's still out there, Aaron Rodgers. Do you want him?
No. Keep going with that motorcycle. Get Rodgers out of here, Josh. But unfortunately, I think it's coming down to those two. I don't really see any other choice, between Rodgers and Russell with everyone getting taken up right now. Don't really want anyone in the draft right away. I know I keep seeing some mocks to Jackson Dart, but at this point, we know what Russell Wilson did. I better ride with Rodgers. Let's get someone in the draft and ride it out with them. Manners.
Yeah, no, I Cody. My brother, huge Steelers fan. If you don't know him, he is all in on the Aaron Rodgers. I don't like it, Ben. I don't like it for you guys. I mean, at that point, just bring in Russell Wilson. I would have loved to see you guys bring Darnold. I mean, good defense kind of around him. We've seen him have success with the Vikings. Obviously, the offensive line kind of crumbled, and he kind of crumbled in that playoff game. But I mean, we've seen it. We've seen short-term success there, and I'm very curious. I know you guys with the Jackson Dart, maybe you trade up, maybe you make a trade with us. Maybe we give you guys, one of those picks that you guys are looking to have kind of a more of a chance. But Tim, I thought Darnold was the answer. I thought it would have been nice. Yeah, kind of like he signed with the Seahawks 3-year deal. But I'm very curious, Ben. That's not the only move. You guys bringing in Darius Slay, but
pay that, Josh.
Oh, you didn't want Darnold.
I don't want to pay it. No, I didn't want to pay it. I'd rather start somewhere fresh. Or, he's only going to get you so far. We saw in the Minnesota playoff game. Great guy. Listen, I as Patriots think again, I want Justin Fields. I'm not going to pay $40 million. I think that's one of my sort of losers. And this one, as Josh mentioned, it's a little hint to that one. But I'm not paying $20 per Josh. It's just, no, I'm not doing that. I wish it, but that was my answer. I wanted Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields would have thrived with these guys, and hey, good for the Jets, but no, I wasn't paying that $40 million.
One team spent a lot of money. Your New England Patriots bringing in guys, second cornerback to kind of pair up there with Gonzo, Carlton Davis on a 3-year deal, signing $60 million. That's a big deal there. Morgan Moses freeing up, making some space there on that offensive line for Drake May, who they definitely needed that in the big splash. Milton Williams signing a 4-year, $106 million deal. The guarantees, not too sure on that. A lot of money guaranteed with the Patriots. Patriots made some big swings in free agency. And I know we lost Ben here for a second, but the one that really sticks out to me is the Milton Williams. I love the Carlton Davis one. That one is, it's not the sexy pick. It's not the one. The Milton Williams, everybody's going to kind of talk about because it's the huge signing. I mean, he had a phenomenal game in the Super Bowl, kind of taking it over. I know he had that huge sack on Patrick Mahomes, kind of a momentum builder. He's not the signing that I'm super, super excited for. I love that Carlton Davis signing for them. I think it really shores up that secondary for the New England Patriots, so that was a huge problem. And don't forget Ben's former guy, who I thought was still on the Steelers, but he was coming from the Raiders, Robert Spillane. I didn't even make the graphic for him. So Patriots were super, super aggressive in spending. I know they didn't go get their guy, Chris Godwin. I'm trying to get everything in here within the next 8 minutes, but Chris Godwin re-signed back with the Bucs, who some people thinking, I know Mick, beyond average Mick, thinking the Bucs having the best free agency out of everybody. So that's one guy off the Patriot that the Patriots couldn't get on their board. But Patriots made some good moves, Ben, and they still got some more money to be left to make decisions on.
Yeah, I could always poke a little fun with the Patriots, but they're spending, Josh. That's what we're always complaining about. But they're actually making some moves. And, Milton Williams, I didn't really know too much about. I mean, he had a good year this year with the Eagles and everything. Who knows if that was just playing besides Jalen Carter and the rest of that elite Philly defense. But he's 25. One of the top sought out defensive tackles out there.
For sure.
You gotta overpay for some of these free agents, Josh. You can't just go out there try to underpay everybody. You gotta overpay for some of this talent. That's how you gotta do it. And they're going out there, Rob Spillane, tackle machine, as you mentioned over there, and they've shored up the offensive line with Morgan Moses, and they got plenty more money to go. Carlton Davis, I don't really love that one, Josh.
Really?
I don't know why they didn't just bring back Jonathan Jones. I think Jonathan Jones is better than him, and Carlton Davis.
What? Wow.
Yeah, I do. I mean, that Lions secondary wasn't that good. There's a reason they released him. He's not that was kind of one of their issues on that defense. So I'm not sure why they just bring a younger guy, Jonathan Jones, in. I don't know why they let him walk. They probably could have paid him less than Carlton Davis. But again, it's just nice to bring in a premier name. Everyone knows Carlton Davis. He's still talented, still good, still great number 2. But I personally would have just gone Jonathan Jones, probably a little cheaper. But if I was a Patriots fan, I love it. And now it's time for the draft. Let's just, obviously still keep adding, but now it's just, you filled out some of these other positions, go. I know I've been hearing some rumblings for Abdul Carter and all this other stuff. I mean, hey, Travis Hunter's there, Will Campbell too. So this kind of just gives you more flexibility at the draft. So if I'm a Patriots fan, I'm pretty happy right now, Josh.
We like the encouragement from Tim. He likes it. He wants us to keep going. But yeah, I mean, I see Jeff. I really don't hate the Carlton Davis. I like what he did in Tampa. I know Ben kind of hampering on the fact that, that was kind of the Achilles heel of that Lions team was their secondary. We know that that pass front was great. Jack Campbell and the boys, the linebackers were great as well. But I like it. I think he can be okay next to Gonzo. I don't think Gonzo's overrated. I disagree with you, Tim, on that one. But I don't know. I think it's a need that the Patriots have needed to fill. I think they still have their biggest need, and their Achilles heel is going to be that receiving core, that the wide receiver room. They still haven't filled it. We'll talk about that for weeks to come. Hey, maybe they go and get Diggs, or maybe they do sign Cooper Kupp or trade for T. Higgins or something. I don't know. Another thing to kind of keep an eye on, Joe Milton. Where does he go? Could the Steelers be in play for him? I think that wouldn't be. What are your thoughts on that, Ben?
Everyone was saying that one, Josh. And I wouldn't mind going past that. The Wi-Fi's feeling good right now, so maybe we'll go past a little. Something Josh on there. The Wi-Fi hasn't been good.
Yeah.
That's why we're playing a little safe. But I'm going good right now, so maybe go off till the wheels fall off. But I know some people were joking around with it, but Josh, I wouldn't totally hate it. I mean, hey, bringing Joe Milton over here, he was slinging it in preseason. He had some great plays. Come on, Patrick, that'd be great. Listen, I would be excited if I was a Patriots fan and I got Will Campbell. You need someone to protect the blind side. That's the most important side for a quarterback, and you need some help. You need all the help for Drake, maybe, because that offensive line was pretty bad. I mean, Louis Riddick, was laughing at this offensive line on, like NFL Live. So, I mean, he was coming after these guys. That was a really bad offensive line last year for the Patriots. They need everything. Come on, Patrick. You need all the help you can get at that position. But much like with us at the quarterback position, we need all the help we can get. So I'd take Joe Milton. Listen, hey, I agreed on Rodgers. I sucked it up, but in that AFC North, Josh, and this is my reasoning too, you got to be able to move around. You got Myles Garrett, great Ravens defense. The Bengals are always, coming after us. You need a guy that's going to be able to be mobile. I mean, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, those guys couldn't, make plays out of nothing, make plays with their legs and extend plays. You need somebody to extend plays, and Rodgers, he can't do that anymore. And that was one of the few things Russell Wilson could do. But to be honest, I'm just willing to have a different quarterback. I don't want to run back with Wilson. He's limited in how far we go and everything. So I'd bite the Rodgers bullet, Josh. I'd take him in. I'd take Rodgers in and see what we can do with him.
We've got another one. Ben, would you be happy with Joe Milton and pick 38?
No, I'm not doing that. Are you kidding me? Patriots stink again. Why would I do that? That would be we were just having fun with Joe Milton too. Obviously, it's going to be like a 5th rounder. I'll give you guys like a 5th rounder for Joe Milton. Like that's good to me on that one and everything. But I'm not. No, that wasn't that serious. Like I said, I'll go with Rodgers. I know what the Russell Wilson experiment was. I know pretty much what this Rodgers experiment is going to be. But maybe we get Rodgers. Maybe we could go get Jumbo. We get Jumbo Joe over there. Maybe get Jackson Dart, another young quarterback. Okay, that's all right. That's true. That's true. Patriots thing. Yeah, I just listen. That's another good point.
It's true.
I'm not willing to give up on that tandem just yet. That's my main point. I want to let these guys go. I want have these guys go together. Maybe we bring Pickens back. You never know. He's one of the most talented guys out there. He's just got to get his head on straight. But I think Rodgers would do pretty well with those guys, Josh. But I'm also with Russell Wilson, so that's my main point, taking Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean the ceiling with Rodgers is super high. I mean, Cody made a good point, my brother. He said, he threw 28 touchdowns, was, I forget what it was, like over 4,000 yards or almost 4,000 yards. I mean, with the Jets. So, I mean, you give them a better defense. I'll die on that hill. The Jets defense is overrated. You give them a better defense, a better head coach, a better organization, better offensive line. I mean, come on. Like the Jets, I thought that they were just kind of makeshift. They had certain pieces on the offensive line that were good, but obviously Morgan Moses going to the Pats. I like that. But aside from that, I just think I personally have some Aaron Rodgers thing. Maybe it's because he kills us every time he steps on the field. But from the beginning, you went to the Jets. I didn't like it. Maybe this is somewhat of a better fit. Maybe it is really just kind of the Jets curse. I mean, look at Brett Favre. He went to the Jets, sucked, and then went over to the Vikings and was the man. So maybe that's kind of what happens with Aaron Rodgers. He gets, a new kind of a refresh start there for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And maybe you are right with that too. I mean, DK and Pickens, and I know both of those guys are kind of knuckleheads, but someone's going to have to give up that number, Ben. Who's it going to be?
Listen, that's a good conversation. I wish I could see that conversation in the locker room, but now he's got to give it out. I like that one. I like that. I like Sauce over Gonzalez. I'll take that one, Josh. Come on, but no, DK's. Pickens probably got to give it up. I'll tell him. I'll say Pickens got to give up that number for DK. Oh,
I do.
For Josh, so we can finally pivot.
Menners,
boys. They made a nice signing over there, but yeah, ultimately for the Steelers, I think we just got to go with Rodgers. Something different, as you said, and as Cody said, there's just a higher potential with Rodgers, even though I could just see him getting sacked the whole time, offensive line caving in, and just getting him just not being able to move. But he did have some good moments with the Jets, and like you said, we got a better team than the Jets. Got a better defense, got a better offensive line, better weapons. We just lost Najee, but maybe we retool in the draft. Maybe we get Ashton Genty. We signed Jalen Warren. That's not a bad offense. That's be a good fight. Like I said, I think that's probably ultimately the way they should decide on that number for the fist fight to see who gets 14. But I think I don't want to see any more Russell Wilson. Great year. I earned some respect. I always already had respect for him. He's great on the Seahawks. Great, obviously quarterback, one of the best to ever do it. But he had a great year for us. He proved a lot of people wrong. And I liked this past year. It was a great year, but we're not going anywhere with him. I'd like to see something different. With an aging quarterback. So that's really the only thing out there on the market right now, Josh. So I'll take Rodgers. Maybe he can have some crazy plays with him. Maybe Pickens and DK revive him a little. You got Muth over the middle. You got some solid one. Calvin Austin still out there, deep threat guy. We got to sign a running back, so I think we bring back Jalen Warren, maybe draft a guy. So there's some better chances for Rodgers over here.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see. It feels like it's just a match. And I mean, they were talking about this kind of being something that would happen before, Ben, and it's kind of a plug and play. The team's kind of essentially there. DK. I love the DK move. I don't care what some of the Pats fans say. I love it. I know Jared was a little jealous because he didn't go to the Bills, but I do love that move. 27 years old. You just extended him. He has his injuries, and he can be super explosive, but he's never had under 900 yards in a season, even in counting some of those injuries. So maybe you bring him in a new scenery. He doesn't have to kind of be the man. Things can kind of work out. But a couple questions flying in here, and of course we want to get to some more of those free agent signings. But I do think that should happen. I think that should happen. I think there should be a complete reset in front office. I think Will McClay should still draft our guys. He does a great job, underrated, kind of an unsung hero for the Dallas Cowboys. He does a lot of the scouting and stuff like that goes under the ropes. But Jerry Jones should step down. And once that happens, I say this all the time. I know James says he's going to say he stole it from me. It's kind of like Vince McMahon. When Vince McMahon left, the WWE started to flourish again. I think the same thing's going to happen with the Dallas Cowboys once Jerry Jones is gone. And just to kind of plug and play on this, I actually have him in my dynasty league. He did absolutely nothing for me last year. And that's just, it's a weird situation because I don't like Anthony Richardson. I thought I did. They got Joe Flacco coming in there. They just got like a bunch of random things going on. Talk about plug and play quarterbacks. I want to lean towards he is overrated, but I also want to give him another chance. I know some of the Patriots fans kind of say that with Polk and some of those guys, the Bakers. I want to give Adonai Mitchell a little bit more of a chance. I know that they've kind of shored up a little bit more. Actually, no, they lost a lot of their line. They shored up some of their defense. But the Colts, I want to see a little bit more on Adonai Mitchell. But so far, Menners, I do. Could be right.
Yeah, I wouldn't say this whole class, obviously, and as you pointed out, Josh, we got to give him a little break. Anthony Richardson. Oh, there we go. He's into a little astrology. But no, you got to give him a little break on that one. Anthony Richardson being out for most, having his injury concerns and still, going through some of the struggles. Joe Flacco, that whole dilemma. So you got to give him a little more time. I wouldn't say he's the most overrated player. You got to see the whole list, but maybe Blake Corum. Blake Corum springs to mind. Supposed to have a nice little sneaky year. Didn't really do much. I know. Yeah, a little big injury too on there. So I know Kyron Williams is kind of the man over there and everything. So, but no, I wouldn't give him too much flack on that. Maybe we gotta see how this year goes out. But also Daniel Jones just got brought in the mix. So maybe Donnie Mitchell was just doomed from the start with Anthony Richardson and now Daniel Jones. Maybe he's just not going to get any good quarterbacks.
And speaking of quarterbacks, their lines here. Jackson from Australia, frequent commenter. Welcome back, buddy. Thoughts on the Texans apparently having a toxic O-line in trading away Laramie Tunsil? Again, I'm pretty sure he just went to who was it?
Commanders.
The Commanders, dude. I want to get this out before we go. Commanders in the Bears, dude, making some really nice. I like this signing too, but I like what those two teams have done. I know the Bears kind of showing up their line. I like that trade for you guys as well, the Texans. I think you guys have an okay line. Now you get a good player in Gardner Johnson defensively. I think you guys will still be okay. That division is a mess. It's for the Texans to take. So Jackson, you should feel good about that. But I mean, the Commanders, Ben, I'm going to say it. I'm going to beat you too, because you said it last year. I think it's their division to take. Eagles getting gutted defensively. I don't know, man. They look like the team to beat in the NFC East.
Hey, Price winning the Super Bowl over there, and Timmy perfectly said, Bears stacking up lines on both sides of the ball. Most importantly, that offensive line, getting Drew Dahmer for the center position. Just keep adding. Got to protect Caleb Williams. Just got to do everything you can. So, great job. Look at those graphics from Josh killing it.
I'm just going to put up a couple up here.
Keep going. No, keep going. That's a huge one for the Texans. That's a good point from Jackson, too. I mean, the Texans obviously had the problematic owner situations and the whole Deshaun Watson thing. There's a whole toxicity in that organization. I don't know what's going on over there. Just strange to see them dealing some of those guys out, but still making some moves. Andrew, I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, with Anthony Richardson's, health, he definitely will. He definitely will get a chance to start Indy. He's going to get a couple games in there. Is it going to be a good couple games? Is he going to change anyone's minds? I don't think so. I think Danny Dimes had his little stint. He had a really good year with Saquon. Saquon kind of carried that offense. They really should have maybe paid him and dug more into that offensive line, but I don't want to crap on the Giants too much for that one. But no, I don't think. I think with for the Texans, it's nice to see them still getting some of these free agent signings and everything, but just kind of puzzling some of the moves getting ripped on Tunsil and everything. And it kind of just points to his point with the toxic O-line and makes you wonder what's going on with that Texans organization. Wouldn't really want to play for them. Kind of tough to be a fan of those guys over there, but it's still, like you said, Josh, still their division. That division just stinks. Titans got the number 1 pick. Jags are abysmal. Hey, maybe trade Trevor Lawrence over us. That would be kind of sick if they could just send Trevor Lawrence over the Steelers. That'd be nice. And I'm kind of blanking on that last team. I don't even know who that fourth team. The Colts. The Colts, they stink too. So they're not making any runs. So it's the Texans to lose, Josh. So the Colts,
I did that on purpose.
I know. Yeah, you should. Yeah, that's a good sign. Good sign. Listen, the Colts are always going to have a good defense. Josh trying to one-up me on that one with that. That's great. That's great producer work from Josh too. He knows his thing with that. But yeah, we can get some of Josh's raw takes on there. That was my last. I watched WrestleMania. I know Uso won, so shout out Uso. It was a great. No, if I said WrestleMania, excuse me, Royal Rumble. That was a great Royal Rumble.
I agree.
But, yeah, no, it was a great one. It was a great one. John Cena. I heard John Cena's a heel now, so that's
turned up my boy.
Yeah, he's got to figure out that ball and spawn. Someone's got to tell him to get that ball and spawn figured out. But ultimately, sorry, Jackson, don't worry. You still got that division to wrap up that one.
Yeah, a couple questions coming in here. I'm going to finish it up with this. I'm going to say one thing, just one quick thing. I like this, another signing that the Bears made. Josh Sweat gone from the Eagles. Cowboys. I don't love this. Why not just bring back Rico Dowdle? Everybody likes it. Everybody who's not a Cowboys fan and the reporters, and I guess anybody who is a Cowboys fan except for me, loves it. I'm not in love with it. I think that talk about overrated, boom or bust. This guy, I know he kind of killed my Cowboys a few years ago. I don't love it, but running short on time. I'm going to leave it to this. As always, we always wrap up the show with Ben. That's good. I heard he actually might shave it and go bald, but we'll get a little bit more in there. We'll get a little bit more Jets talk in there for you. But one thing I want to leave it on here when it came to WrestleMania. I mean, not WrestleMania. When it comes to Monday Night Raw, was phenomenal this week. A+. I thought that was the best match CM Punk has had in his tenure back with the WWE. I'm going to leave it at that. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. As always, turn it over to Ben.
Appreciate it, Josh. Thank you to everyone, as always. Try to keep it short and sweet. Appreciate it, David, with the Wi-Fi and everything. But comments are always great. Timmy, we got you at 7:40. Keep coming back next week. Got that Jets talk. Patriots stink again. Always classic. Patrick, we'll get some of that UFC going too. But appreciate it from everyone. And let's go Rodgers. Let's go Steelers.
Call timeout. Timeout talks. Timeout talks.